Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Joyami 9-in-1 Air Fryer Convection Oven and Grill. And let me tell you, I have not seen something quite like this before. And I think it's pretty interesting, especially if you're looking to save some space on your countertop. So as usual, I am going to show you everything about this gadget. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to cook a few things in here, and we're going to see exactly how good it is. First things first, let's talk about the price. As of the recording time of this video, if you head over on Amazon, and the link is going to be in the description, you'll see that the regular price on this is listed as $240, but there's also a $40 coupon that you can just click the box and just get automatically $40 off. So that'll bring the price down to 200 bucks, which is pretty good, I think. So if you want to see the latest price for this, be sure to check the link in the description so that you can see it, because sometimes the prices, they can go up, they can go down, but if you check the link, you'll be able to see exactly where it is at the point in time that you're checking out this video. So earlier I mentioned the space-saving benefits that this air fryer convection oven offers. So let me show you how this works. So you can have it lying flat like this on the countertop, and this is where it's going to take up the most space. But when you're done and when you want to reclaim that space, all you have to do is just take this whole thing and just lift it straight up, and the noise that you hear are the accessories on the inside. I'll show you those in a second, but you can stand it up just like this, and it will effectively save you, as you can see, all of this extra space here, and you can just push it back against the wall, and the cord is not being pinched by the vertical status that it's now in, so that's nice and safe. And then you also have these feet on the bottom, and you can set it back down, and those feet are also located on the bottom of this machine as well. Now, the other thing that's unique about this is that it's also a grill, and it's kind of hidden when everything is nice and flat like this. But if you take this black handle and you lift it up, you basically just open up the entire top. You can see the heating elements right here, and that brings me to the first accessory, which is going to be this grill plate here. So what you have to do is you have to turn it so that you see this little metal part that's sort of sticking out. It's going to hit this little button right here, and it needs to interact with this button in order for that function to work. You'll hear it click, and then you can set the rest of it down, and now you've got yourself an indoor grill. So it effectively saves you even more space on the countertop, because instead of having an air fryer up there and then having to move it to put a grill up there, everything is just there now. So it saves you space that way. Now, technically, you can only use either the oven or the grill at one time, but I'm going to see if there's a way to sort of cheat the system a little bit so that you can still benefit from both of these. But if you are going to be using the grill, then this lid has to be up. You cannot bring it down at this point because it's just going to be stopped. So if you have this on your countertop, just remember, you're going to have this lid open in order for you to access the grill. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other accessories that are going to be used inside of the air fryer oven. So this is the handle to open up the door, and it's spring loaded. So it has a very effective snapback, you know. So when you open it, you have to get it to a certain point so that it'll stop. As you can see, it stops just shy of opening it up, and then you can just bring it all the way down. But if you kind of get in the middle, it's just going to snap right back and it's going to close. Let's take a look at some of these accessories. It's pretty standard fare when it comes to air fryers and stuff like that. You're going to get the air frying basket, and then you're also going to get a baking tray. Those two things go hand in hand. And then you have your wire rack as well. And that's pretty much all the accessories that you're going to be cooking on, but they also included, which I think is pretty nice, this little metal handle here, which can be used to pull the wire rack out of the oven, so you don't have to put your hand in there, even if you have an oven mitt on. But if you want to have a little bit more distance, you can just use this. So you can just sort of go in with this and just make sure that these little latches are secured on the metal rack, and then you can just pull it out, get your food out, push this right back in, and then you can close the door, and you won't have to worry about getting your hands so close to the oven. On the inside, you'll see that you have 3 heating elements on the top as well as 3 heating elements at the bottom, and it goes back a pretty decent way, but it is more deep than it is tall. So you're not going to be able to cook tall dishes in here. You're not going to be able to take, for example, a full chicken and put it in here because it's just going to be too tall for that. So the types of foods that you're going to be cooking in here have to remain relatively flat because there's not a whole lot of vertical space to work with. Ah yeah, and before I forget, you also get a crumb tray, which is at the very bottom of the unit. And here are all the modes. We have air fry, air roast, air broil, bake, dehydrate, keep warm, toast, bagel, and of course grill. Now if you want to use the grill, all you have to do is press the grill button right here, and then that is going to activate the upper heating elements, and it's going to heat up and you'll be able to use the grill. But as far as the other features go, it's really easy to operate, you know? So let's just say, for example, I wanted to bake something. By default, you see that the time is set for 25 minutes at 430 degrees. But if you want to change the time or the temperature, you just press either the time or temperature button. So I'll just hit time, and then you turn the knob, and then you'll be able to go up or down, but you have to do it relatively quickly. Otherwise it just goes back through the other menus. So there you go. You can see you can change the time like that. You can hit the temperature, change the temperature just like this. Maximum 450 degrees on the bake function. And then if you want to do air fry, for example, maximum temperature of the air fry is going to be 430 degrees Fahrenheit. This convection button right here is for the convection fan. When you press it, you'll turn the convection fan either on or off, and that's going to be indicated by this little LED here. So you can see the convection is automatically implemented when on the air fryer mode. But if you don't want it on for some reason, you can just push that and turn it off. And when you move it to toast, instead of having the time and the temperature, it changes to slice and darkness. So you can go all the way down to 1 slice of toast all the way up to 9 slices of toast. And then for the darkness, if you want it lightly toasted, just 1, or if you want it nice and dark, you can have 5. Bagel is going to be a little bit different because it just goes right back to the standard time and the temperature that you want the bagel to be cooked at. All right, so let's make something. Now, like I said earlier, the types of things that you're going to be making inside here have to be relatively flat, all right? So they can't be really tall. So let's just go for a pizza. A nice default pizza, kind of like this. So this is a Red Baron pizza, kind of just like a standard size pizza that you just get at the grocery store. This will fit in there quite easily, and it'll also fit in there easily if you put it on the included baking tray. So you can see that it still has plenty of room to slide around in. And just to see, I'm not going to start the cooking right now, but just so that you can see, once I open this up and I slide this pizza in, you can see how far back it can go. So it's way back there, and we still have a pretty decent amount of space right here in the front. So it'll have absolutely no problem with a standard pizza. So I'm just gonna put it on the standard time and temp that I usually do in other gadgets, which is going to be 17 minutes at 400 degrees on the air fryer function, and we'll see how it comes out after the timer is up. So we're gonna turn this on. Air fryer function is already selected. I'm going to set the time to 17 minutes and set the temperature to 400 degrees. Push the button in to start it, and it's going to automatically start preheating right here. And the other interesting thing about this is you can actually see what the current temperature is on the inside, and you do that by holding down the grill button, and you have to hold it for about 5 seconds or so. So don't let up quite yet. And if you take a look at the display here, you'll see that it is moving between the temperature that is going to be and the temperature that it currently is. So it's going up to 400 degrees, and it's currently at 88 degrees. So if you're ever curious about the internal temperature, you can hold down that grill button for about 5 seconds or so, and it'll tell you how hot it is on the inside. All right, so that's the pizza. Looks good. And this is about as done as I like for my pizzas to be, and it was 17 minutes, so we handled that very well. But now let's try out that grill function, and I'm thinking hamburger. And now I'm just going to hit the grill function right there, and by default is going to be set up for an hour, but you can change that time. But I'm just going to change the temperature here. So I'm going to hit the temp/darkness button. I'm going to be making a hamburger and some bacon. So I'm going to change this to 360 degrees. That's the temperature that I like to cook my bacon on, and then just press it in. Now everything is going to start. So we can see that the heating icon is available right there. The convection, the fan is not on. But if I wanted the convection fan to be on, I could just push this button and it turns the convection on. But we don't need that since we're just grilling. And I'm going to let this heat up, and then we're going to slap some food on here. Oh yeah, we are ready. I haven't put any non-stick spray on the pan at all, so this is just what it is, straight out the box after being cleaned. And we'll see how this sticks to the pan, if it even sticks to the pan. And usually with bacon, if it's going to stick, it sticks as soon as you lay it down. So let's see. Oh, it's moving around easily. So yeah, pretty awesome. It does not stick, but we'll see if that remains true once we put the burger on there, once that bacon is done. So even though you technically can't operate the top grill and the oven at the same time, the heating element is still on and it's still warm in there. So I don't see a reason why I can't throw hamburger buns in there and see if I can get them toasted. A little bit of brownness on those buns. So yeah, that worked out pretty good. So it's not that it won't work, it's just that, you know, the oven function won't be as powerful. But if you want to use it to toast some bread or something like that, melt some cheese, I think it's totally useful for that when you have the grill operated. I've been using the Joyami Air Fryer Oven and Grill combo for a few weeks, and now I want to give you my final thoughts about it. Now, I really do like this because it takes into consideration your countertop space. I think that this is something that's going to be very useful if you want an air fryer oven, but you don't have a lot of space to deal with. The fact that you can just flip this up and push it back against the wall is really useful because you get to reclaim some of that space that it normally occupies, as compared to a larger air fryer oven like the one that I have behind me here that just stays in that spot and it's going to occupy it for as long as it stays there. So I like the fact that they did that, and the fact that you have this grill option, so it cuts down on the amount of devices that you might want to use. So you got your oven, but if you don't want to use the oven and you just want to make a burger like I did, you have that grill attachment to put right there on top, and then that also saves you more space on top of your counters and inside of your cabinets as well. But it's also a bit of a double-edged sword because even though it's compact and it saves you space on the counter, it also reduces the amount of cooking space that you have on the inside. You have a fair amount of space as far as depth is concerned, but not a lot of vertical space. So it's going to reduce the types of foods that you're going to be able to cook in here. You're not going to be able to cook things like a large Thanksgiving ham or a full-size chicken because they're just too tall. And once you put it inside here, I've even tried to cook like chicken wings, full-size chicken wings, and the end of the wings tend to go up. So unless I made sure that those were sitting flat down, they were going to start getting very close to touching the heating element and the top of the oven. So this is something that's going to be best used for things that are flat, especially frozen meals, or if you want to cook from fresh. Things like sheet pan meals are going to work really good inside of here. So that's just something to keep in mind. You are not going to have as much versatility as you would with a regular air fryer oven, and that's going to be the sacrifice that you make with this smaller form factor. But it has performed just as well as any other air fryer that I have used in the past, and because of that, I can recommend it. And if you want to pick this up for yourself, be sure to check out the link in the description so you can head over to Amazon and pick it up from there. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Jeremy. Take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.